How to keep yourself organized when you've got multiple projects going on, you've got multiple things that you need to get done, you're busy with the notepads and you're forgetting things and you're working with multiple clients. How do you keep yourself organized? How do you keep yourself productive? How do you keep yourself from forgetting all of the things that you need to get done? So that's what I'm going to be covering in this video. I'm going to be talking you through a tool called Asana, which I use for pretty much all of my project management, all of my delegation, all of the things that I do in my business, and also how I handle all the multiple things that I need to get done for my clients. Hey, my name is Burhan, and if you're new here, welcome. I talk about business online. I talk about tools. I talk about productivity. I talk about basically making money on the internet or living the digital nomad lifestyle, or basically just making a living helping people and serving people with their online businesses. Over the years, I've carried multiple notebooks. You'll see there's a couple of notebooks here behind me, and I've actually got two notebooks on my table. One is just sort of an ideas book, and the other one is my to-do list, which I tend to keep on my desk for sort of the bigger items. But what I want to be talking about right now is Asana. And Asana is a wonderful tool that I've been using for years now, for the last, I would say 6 years actually, just managing projects, managing all the things that I need to get done. And I wanted to actually cover the tool, or cover some of the basic things, cover sort of how you actually get into the tool, how you would sign up, and what you would be doing when you get on to the tool itself. Okay, so I'm on the Asana homepage right now, and you can see that they're talking about working on big ideas without the busy work. Now, an interesting thing about Asana is that the founder of Asana actually created it while he was at Facebook. He used to work at Facebook, or there was a team of people working at Facebook, and they decided to come up with a project management tool or something to just manage all the tasks that Facebook were running and creating. And so they created the system, and it was used inside of Facebook. This is an amazing tool purely based on the fact that, it's come from a company, or it was born out of a company that's actually massive today. When you actually get started, if you click on the button here, it's going to take you to a sign up form. I've already logged into Asana, and so once you've got your free account, you're going to land on something that looks like this. Now, I've created my workspace. Now, your workspace is basically the place that you're going to have everything in there, and you can have multiple workspaces if you upgrade Asana to the higher level. But right now, I'm on the free version on this demo account, and I'm going to be walking you through how to set up your workspace and how to actually create a very basic sort of project. And so one of the projects that I think we're all trying to figure out is content creation, and so that's what we're going to be creating. So when you come in over here, I'll just talk you through sort of the features inside of Asana. On the left side here, we've got the home screen, which is going to bring you back to sort of your dashboard, or of all your projects. You've got your tasks, which is going to show you the tasks that are going to be happening or that are coming up for you as you allocate things. Your inbox is where your team members are going to be actually messaging you, and you see things inside of your inbox from your other staff members or other team members. Reporting, this is a new feature that they've actually come up with, where you can actually create dashboards and charts based on things that are happening inside of your projects. Portfolios, this is an upgraded thing. And then goals are things that you want to set aside, as in goals that you want to achieve. Maybe you want to achieve 500 posts for the year, or you want to have an X amount of revenue for yourself for the year. Whatever the case may be, you can set up those goals here. I'll be covering goals and reporting in other videos, so definitely hit the like and subscribe if that's something that you want to watch in future. So let's go into this workspace, and inside of this workspace you can see that I can set a description for the workspace, basically giving the team members and giving myself a reminder of what this workspace is about. And so a workspace would represent your company if you wanted to set it up that way. You can add team members from here, and all you need to do to invite team members is have an email address. If they have an Asana account already with the email address that you're going to use, then they would get the notification inside of Asana, but they will also get an email over there. And you can choose the project that you want to add them to right over here. Now, because we haven't set up any projects yet, we'll leave that for later. So let's go ahead and set up a new project. Now we can use templates, we can use a spreadsheet, So maybe you've got a spreadsheet where you've got a CSV list of goodies, list of things that you already have, and there's a specific format that Asana needs to be able to import that spreadsheet. But you could do that, or you can start the blank project. Now what I'm going to do is, in order to get this content creation calendar done quickly, I'm going to click on use a template, and over here you'll see a whole lot of templates that Asana has already created or has ready for us. We've got account tracking, company goals, customer feedback, meeting agenda, new hire checklist, pre-sale, so RFP process, sales pipeline, sales planning. There are a whole bunch of sales things. That's what it's showing me right now, but there are also marketing things that you can create. And so what I think we're going to be using is a marketing strategy or social media calendar. So let's use a social media calendar for now. And of course, once you've created a template, or once you've selected a template, which we're going to do now, it's going to show us kind of the features that are available, right? So lists, boards, I'll cover some of these as well, workflows, and it's going to give us a little description and what it's going to look like. And so it's giving us Kanban view. It's telling us it's going to have a couple of columns, ideas that we want to maybe create. A schedule for this week is something that we already have maybe created and we're working on. And you can see a couple of different things going on here. You can see that there's fields and there's tags here. There are, yes and no pointers. There are dates and there's allocated people. There are images that we can attach, right? And then you can actually have a form as well, which is this custom form, this form that we can actually use to input certain things into the project itself. And I'll cover that forms in another video as well. All right, so let's use this template, and we're just going to call this social media calendar. And at this point, we can choose whether we wanted to have it private to only project members or public to the workspace. And that's an important distinction there, because if you want everybody in your workspace to see it, then you can make it public. Or if you want it only to project members, and I'm gonna select public right now, but if you wanted to only have it to project members, then it's going to lock out other people who you don't want to give access to. All right, so let's go here, and it's asking us now to schedule the project dates. And so use the start date if you know when your project will begin. All right, so if we choose a start date, let's say from next week, because this week we're wanting to create all of the things that we need to. And if we wanted to use an end date, we can create an end date for specific things. So your task will be scheduled according to your project start or end date. So I think we'll just use a start date for now, and we'll create that project. All right, so now you can see that from the template, it's gone and created this board view, which we have over here, and we have the list view as well, which is going to show us a table of things here. We have an overview of basically things that we can set up. So here we can actually edit the description if we wanted to, or edit the goals. We can add the roles here as well. We can create a brief over here, which is basically just going to give us a document that we can fill in. We can create milestones for this project. So maybe we want to have like a quarterly milestone, or we can have goals for the project as well. So let's go back to the board view, and I'll talk you through how these work. Now, what's nice about the Asana templates is it gives us instructions on how to actually use the template. So it says, the project template organized by board view, by sections, custom fields. For business users, we've included social post request form as well. Now, the form aspect is over here. And if you've upgraded to the paid plan on Asana will give us this form that's available that we can actually show to people. So if I were to copy this link that it's giving us, then we could actually use this as a request form, maybe to give to clients, right? And we can add questions, and that's going to fill in these fields. And so you can see name, email, title of the post, which channel are we going to go for, the format of the post. We can select what type of format we want it to be, set the fields as required or not, and if we wanted to actually type out who is the audience for this post, we can set all of that up here in this form. Now the form, again, I'm going to be covering forms in a later video in a little bit more detail, but that gives you an overview. All right, so let's go back to the board view. but I wanted to actually go through an example of a task that we would create. So let's say we wanted to do an IG carousel post, and we wanted to actually set this up for post, right? So now we don't have any dependencies yet because this is a new post, right? Participants needed. We don't have, this is not a collaboration with anybody, so we don't need any participants. This is going to be for Instagram, and this is going to be the description. So maybe we want to write out the actual caption for this post. Maybe we want to have hashtags for this post. Maybe we also want, depending on what you want to have inside of this description box, you can use this as a template. You can use it as a place to write stuff, right? Just as a notepad maybe. All right, and then if we wanted to have a specific date, let's say we wanted to publish this on the 14th, and we wanted to assign it to myself. And so now you can see that I am responsible for this. This is an idea for maybe an IG carousel, which, let's say 10 ways to use Asana effectively. If that's a video that you'd like to actually see, or a carousel post that you'd like to see on my Instagram, hit the like and I'll create that for you. All right, and then we can create subtasks here, things that we need to do to actually create this post. And so if I were to think about it, I would need to write the captions. I would need to choose the hashtags, choose hashtags. I would need to create the post images, and maybe we want to write here Canva so that we have a reference. We want to schedule the post, and if we're using another tool, maybe like Later or something like that, we can add that. So let's do that. And then maybe after the post is done, we want to track the results of this post. All right, so we've got a couple of subtasks, and so each of these subtasks would be allocated. So let's say, I was responsible for creating the captions. I had a team member maybe that I wanted to give to actually choose the hashtags. And then for each of these subtasks, we can allocate a date. So let's say I want this post to go live on Monday, so I'm going to need to do this by Thursday. The hashtags also need to be done by Thursday, and I can probably do that together. I'm just going to allocate these to myself because I'm the only one in this project right now. And creating the images, maybe this is going to go to a graphic designer. So, once the caption is created, once the 10 items are listed, we can then go ahead and give that to the graphic designer to start creating something. And then the schedule, we'll maybe do the schedule on, let's say, Friday, right? If we can get everything done by Thursday, then everything can be scheduled by Friday so that we don't have to work on the weekend. And then the progress, maybe we want to check the progress of this maybe in our weekly meeting on the 21st, right? And so for each of these things, now we are already allocated. All right, so now we can see that this is coming up. And so when this is actually scheduled, what we could do is move the task over to this column, right? Now, obviously, these are different example tasks. And so let's have a look at how they are created. So again, this is for an article. There's nobody participating. This is for Facebook. And so there's no subtasks here, but it's for June 15th, and it's inside of the schedule for this week as an example. And so you can see as we move things along, schedule for this week, schedule for next week. So each week when we go through our weekly planning session, we can say, oh, this is for this day, this is for that day, and we just move things down the road. Now, for me, one of the things that would come up for me is because now that I've allocated a few tasks to myself, I can actually assign or see these assigned to me in my tasks. And this is important because when I open up Asana in the beginning of the day, this is the page I'm going to go to first. I'm going to go and see all of the things that have come up to me. And for each of these tasks, I can open them up directly from here, and I can figure out what I'm going to do with this task right away. Now, I'm not covering every single feature in Asana right now. That's going to be like a way long video. But if you definitely want more tips and more tricks on Asana, definitely let me know. But that's basically how you would create a project inside of Asana, inside of your workspace in Asana, to actually manage your social media calendar. Now, of course, this is social media, and so we can create whatever we want, and we can use fields. and we can set these things up as we want to. In a future video, I'm going to be going into a little bit more depth and a little bit more detail of actually how to use all of the features and all of the tasks inside of Asana. And so if that's something you definitely want to look at, you're definitely something you want to take away from, then definitely consider liking the video. So that's how to create a basic social media calendar inside of Asana and how to get a little bit more productive by allocating tasks to your team members and creating subtasks for things that you need to send to your team members. Check out these other videos over here where you can learn more about Asana and about how to be more productive and working with your team members. If these are videos that you like, definitely hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.